This is such an exciting time for us in our industry because we have two developments in science that are making such a difference to our understanding of human behaviour. The first has come from medical science actually, with the development of the MRI scanner. So we're really able to look at people's brains now and understand how they work, how the electrical firing takes place. But in parallel to that, behavioural scientists have developed a huge body of knowledge which allows us to understand how people behave and how they make their decisions. So if you bring those two things together, it's really amplified our understanding of human behaviour. And that's got massive implications for us in terms of how we talk to people, how we communicate to them, the role that brands can play and how decision making is made around those things and how we can ultimately change behaviour. But it is a vast body of knowledge, so we're in a position where we've got to have some focal points. What are we going to concentrate on? And we at TRA have really focused our attention around three core tenets. The first one concerns levels of consciousness, because we don't operate at all times at the same level of consciousness. A lot of what we do is actually unconscious. A lot of what we do is habitual and on autopilot. We have another level up from there where we think we're making rational decisions, but actually we're making often poor decisions, but certainly decisions that are based on our biases and the things we've learned work for us. And of course there's a higher level of cognitive decision making as well. But that brings me to the second core tenet, which is around emotion, and emotion and memories in particular, because emotion affects so much of what we do, including this higher order cognitive decision making. But it has a huge impact on how we lay memories down. So how we memorise, for example, things that have happened in our lives. We're very poor relators of those things, but also how we remember communications and how we build up the mental pictures we have of brands. And then the third tenet, and I think it's the one that people understand but often don't really take into account, and that's context. So there's micro context, how we prime people, how we frame things, how we can inadvertently as well as deliberately anchor people's decision making. But there's also the macro context of the social groups and the cultural things that influence how we make decisions. So these are the tools that we take into projects to enable us to advise clients about how they should be making decisions in their companies based on a really good understanding of human behaviour.